So today we're going to talk about something fun if you're a free-range chicken owner, as I am and have been for over 20 years. I like to play with different designs on chicken coops. I have 3 of them, and this is the one we're going to modify today. What I'm going to add is a hen door to the side, and not just any hen door. This is going to be an automatic Wi-Fi controlled hen door. This is how it comes in the box, all wrapped here in plastic, basically ready to install right as you receive it. Let's just get the plastic off of it, and we're going to go over the specs here. This thing is completely housed. All you have to do is cut the opening and install it. You can look at the back here, and then this is the front. There's a control panel there that you can do manually, so you can control these without the Wi-Fi. And but in this case, we're going to use the Wi-Fi. Coop Tender, and I'm going to put a link down in the video description. You can check it out. It has a battery backup, door status lights, and this is the Wi-Fi component that we have that we're going to show today. And of course, electrical cord. You're going to have to plug that in, and your chicken coop needs to have electricity, of course, unless you want to use an optional solar battery installation with a solar panel. So because my entire house is already solar powered, I don't have to worry about that. But this is just to give you the information, optional solar panel installation. So you can get that there's lots of options with this thing. We're going to do just a Wi-Fi component. I'm also going to show you how to install it. We're going to cut a hole in the chicken coop. We're going to put that thing in there. I'm going to demonstrate how it works step by step. So I'm just showing you some of the guidelines that are in the instructions here. Do not lose the instructions. This all comes from cooptender.com. They have a bunch of options with these doors. In fact, there's 2 different size doors. There's a chicken door, model CT003, and there's a large chicken door that'll handle turkeys, model CT TAC 004. And this is the Wi-Fi module. The information on the back here is what you want to get down, because that ctwifi.cooptender.com is where you'll go to activate it and be able to access it from your phone. But I'm going to talk about that later. Comes with other accessories, predator motion detector and things like that. I'm not using those, don't have them, but I am going to use the thermal sensor that comes with it. And I'll explain how I want to use that too, and it is super handy. Temperature probe. I'm going to put that right in my baby chick brooder, so I will know without looking at it if their lamp went off or something else happened. Serial number for your model here. Write down all that information when you first get it so you'll have it in your notes. Also, there is a fuse built in right here where you plug it in, on-off switch. All that stuff is accessible inside your chicken coop. And again, we're going to connect it to the Wi-Fi module, and then this other thing is just the probe. And you need to have an outlet within 6 feet of the unit. And this plug looks just like the normal ones you would have for a computer or anything else. All my chicken coops are elevated well off the ground, and that's to prevent mice and stuff from getting it under them. Hey. I guess she wasn't very happy to see me. Anyway, we're going to modify their coop. My chickens do not like changes inside the chicken coop. These are the specs. Just over 13.5 inches wide, so about 13.5 and a 16th. And we have 3.5 depth front to back, which is standard 2x4. And the overall height is 26.5 inches, just a teeny smidge above that. So we're going, and of course, this has a solid worm drive, which is why I chose this unit. I've looked at all of them. I don't like the string units. I don't like the ones that gravity drop and have metal doors. This thing needs to hold up if a raccoon or something comes along and tries to get in there. Plus, I like the thermal aspect of wood. And now we're showing the interior of the coop. You can tell, super clean. I'm a neat freak, you know. I hope you understand that I'm kidding. The other thing is, when we're going to install something, we want to make sure that it's well off the coop floor, because I don't like bedding to blow out the door. There's the outlet I'm going to plug into. Now I'm just verifying my measurements. Measure twice, cut once, you know, that kind of thing. And I'm going to cut the hole here. I want to keep this up off the bottom ledge of the coop a little bit, and I'll show you why. 13 5/8 inch wide, 26 5/8 inches tall is the hole I'm going to cut for it. And we're just going to go step by step. Some people may want to see how I install it. Battery powered skill saws. I'm happy to have those things these days. Used to drag cords around, have to use a generator. But of course there's an outlet here. I could have just plugged it in. And I just cut away that first piece there, which I can reuse for trimming around it. And now we're going to cut out the planks. plunge cutting. Make sure you know what you're doing. So then, of course, it didn't cut all the way to the corners, so we're going to use a Sawzall. Finish that up. And there you have it. We have a hole. Let's put this thing in. See if we made these tolerances tight. The tighter you make it, the better off you are. Jam it in here and there. And then, of course, that leading panel on the front there just keeps its position right on the wood. Precisely installed. Perfectly cut. Let's get rid of this little piece here, because I'm going to be attaching the ramp down there. Now, they give you 4 screws. I'm using my own stainless steel screws here, and I'm only putting up 2 because I'm going to use trim to hold it in place. This is trim from the actual Coop itself, so it's going to match right up. More stainless steel square drive screws. Put those things right in there. Battery powered screwdriver, drill. And now, of course, I have to cover up that centerpiece at the bottom, and I put a little bevel angle there to help rain, snow, and water shed. And screw that right in there. I know you're impressed by this expert installation. Again, stainless steel screws. You don't need to do this. I just decided to do it because I like to trim things in and make it look like it's a part of the Coop. As the weather ages it, I'll bet it blends nice except for that high-tech circuit panel there. And remember, you can manually control it. But today we're talking about the Wi-Fi aspect, and that's going to be cool too. Drop in a couple more trim pieces here. One of the things I'm not showing in this video is I think I'm going to put a small roof overhang that will shelter this thing from the weather, even though it is certified to be exposed to weather. And I live in the snow belt, northeastern United States, nice and cold. There it is, all installed, ready to go, plugged in on the inside. And I put this 2x4 on the front and a little landing board there where I'm going to hook up my chicken plank. There it is, rough cut piece of oak. Screwed at the top, but not on the 2x4 down below. It just rests on that. Easy to do. And look at the little readout LED thing here. Freeze protect enabled, 20 degrees. So we're going to go over the apps on the phone and the options that you have. And it just, everything's working good. If the red light's on for door status there, it means your door is open. So wouldn't it be cool to be able to check this from your phone? I think it would. And there's a battery backup that goes inside there, and it says green light for the battery. You would be charging that up. You're probably going to have to get your own battery to put in there. And light setting, 75. Dusk till dawn. If you put it on the default mode, then it's automatically in the dusk till dawn setting. And guess what? I put my finger over that light sensor there to see when it's in dusk till dawn if it would go ahead and shut itself down. So if you got some heavy clouds or a storm comes through, don't worry. It's not going to close and leave your chickens outside. It takes a long time to react to darkness. Now, of course, the Wi-Fi module here is blinking because I haven't connected it yet with my phone. You have to log into the website. And there's a tool. Everything is in the instructions that come with it so that you can pair your Wi-Fi controller with this hen door, and all the information is on there. And again, make sure your hen doors are always up off the floor so you're not getting bedding blowing in and out. These are 2 wasted sets of wires, so I think it comes just one way. If I want to add something later, there it is. Door controller, that's all I care about. And that's connected later. That flashing blue light will turn to a slowly pulsing light once it is connected. And we're good to go. Got the probe up there. That's my chick brooder at the top. I'm going to figure out how to install that in there a little later. And of course the chickens are out, cleaning up around the cornfield here. Little segue to the next step. Now, with everything all installed, we're going to cycle it, and I'm also going to show you some of the controls on the phone. And that's the whole unit, pretty darn tidy. Now my chickens before this were just jumping up through these open doors. Here on the facing side and on the end there, the door is open. So chickens have no problems getting up there. I left the gangway well off the ground because if you mow or weed whack around your chicken coop, you don't want to be hitting the gangway. The other thing is all my coops are elevated, so rats and mice and things like that can't live under it. Plus it provides shade and immediate shelter for the chickens. How long do you think it takes for that door to open or to close? And by the way, that's the fast mode. It takes 52 seconds to cycle. Now remember, I chose this after looking at all of the other ones I could find. Of course, I watched YouTubes and everything else. I do not like the metal panels because they tend to hang up, and because there's a string. They're gravity closed. I'm not a fan of that. This worm gear is the most stout mechanism I could find. This is going to cost a bundle, unfortunately, but it's going to be part of your chicken coop for a very long time. And we're talking about chicken security. Here's the app on your phone. If you hit the reset button, it goes to the standard dusk till dawn. You can also open and close it anywhere you can log in with this app. So it goes through your home Wi-Fi network, so that has to be in range. Here it is closing. 52 seconds of watching it close. Some people might say, I want that thing to close faster. Well, if you've ever seen hens lounging in the pop hole or the hen door or whatever you want to call it, they do. They sleep right there. So this thing coming on, being a little loud and moving down slow, is going to get hens and chicks out of the way before it closes. No sudden movements. So I actually like, in retrospect, that it moves slow. Also, the dusk till dawn stuff, you have options to control that, and you can manually override everything and close it right away. If you've gone somewhere and it gets dark late at night, you just log in with your phone and you can check the status of your hen door. It also sends you an email whenever it closes or opens. Or if you've lost power and you're on the battery backup, it's going to let you know that that's going on too. And then you get the readout here. It's in the manual mode because I overrode that. Remember, when we hit this reset button, it goes back to dusk till dawn automatic settings. Also gives you a readout on your battery there, daylight value. You set how much daylight you want it to have in order to react and close your door. Door status is green. Remember, that means it's closed. Door status red, the door is open. And I finally updated the time there, 5:26, which is yesterday. Inside coop temp is 90 degrees. So if I had baby chicks in there, that wouldn't be bad, but it's too hot. Now these are the controls that you have access to from your phone. I love having the Wi-Fi way over just using that manual touchpad, which is on the front. Your light settings, dawn delay. For example, you don't want those chickens running out and crowing at the crack of dawn. Delay them. Dusk delay, you can have it closed well after it gets dark. Now this 20-degree setting, if it's a cold morning, I don't want the coop door to open. I don't want my chickens getting drafty and cold inside when it's only 20 degrees outside, so you control that too. You also update the date and time right through the app. Using your phone is super easy. Wading through that touch panel is not. And then there's this little cog here on the right. That's how you access all those settings. You push on that. Refresh the chart. It shows you voltage and everything else, so it records the history of the power resources on your coop. Pretty cool. So now I can use my cell phone. Now, you don't want to go to the website and log in every time. Add it to your home screen right there. There it is, Coop Tender, Wi-Fi, right on the home screen, and just click on that. I can see what the status is. See, that rooster approves. Now here we are at the end of the day. The hens, of course, are going to go in their normal door, which they're used to, because now we have to introduce them to something new. And if you know chickens, they don't like new things in their chicken coop. I mean, you can just leave a bucket behind and some hens won't even go in. This is another chicken coop. I'm showing you the manual doors that I've had, super thick, heavy duty, because we have predators everywhere, and this is a free range flock of chickens. Once they get in their chicken coop, they need to be safe. If you're going to plug up this entry door and think you're going to just stand there while you make up your mind, The chickens behind you might have different ideas. Yeah, that's right. They're going to give you a little nudge on your way out the door. Sometimes chickens are worse than cats when you open the door and they can't make up their mind. So here we are, the following morning, back at this newly installed Wi-Fi controlled automatic hen door. Opening up faster. I did fast forward this. You're looking at this at 300% normal speed just for expediency because I want to show it to you without you falling asleep. Now the chickens, of course, are going to run right out that door, right? No, they're not. It's new. They don't recognize this as their method to get in or out. So we have to put scratch grains out there. Chickens go anywhere there's food, and when there's food, they forget about other things, including a brand new door. So the other thing you might wonder is it big enough for normal chickens to get through? How big's that opening? Bantams will go right through it, of course, no problem. Look at this one. Little rose comb heading out there, following the feed, blazing the trail. She has no problems. Oh, here comes a rooster. No problem there either. Right through. But if we did not put this food down there, there's a very good chance they would have just sat inside that chicken coop for hours until it got really hot. But once you put food in there, out they come. So we're going to let them come and go all day long through this. Now they're fine with it. Also, chickens like to watch other chickens and see what happens to them. Here's a large, standard Rhode Island red, single comb. Nice big bird. Went right through it, no problem. So, end result. Great opener. Hope you liked it. Follow the link in the video description. Check them out for yourself. Thanks for watching.